What is my personal prediction for the price of Polkadot or DOT for this bull run that we're currently in?
Fight for it!
Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of TA with MK. My name is MK. In today's price projection video, we're going to be talking about one of the oldies, one of the dinosaurs, Polkadot, ticker DOT or DOT, and we can tell it's forgot about because look at this tiny little bubble they gave it here on the Bubbles website. I mean, that's just not showing a whole lot of respect. Now, I still believe in DOT. I know some of you do. So we're going to do our best to come up with a few different price projections based on some possible ranking positions for how it might end this bull run. Let's talk about it. Let's go. First and foremost, before we apply it to my formula, we have a little bit of information we need to gather. So we're here on CoinGecko.com. I've looked up Polkadot, and what I'm looking for here is its current position rank, which at the time of making this video is number 16. I'm going to write that down. And then the circulating supply, which is the important one, we want to write it down along with the total or max supply. Now, Polkadot does not appear to have a max supply. And so if these numbers differ between the circulating and total, we need to find out why that is. Is there any token unlocks coming up? Is this a coin that's mined? I know without even looking that Polkadot's one of those where I believe it's inflationary, goes up so much per year. And of course, tokens are given as rewards, if I remember right, to people that use the network, things of that nature. We'll do a little bit of research real quick to get an idea kind of how that works. And then we'll come up with what circulating supply we're going to use for today's video. So just a simple Google search, is Polkadot inflationary, comes up with this result. DOT is an inflationary token on the Polkadot network. Inflation is set to be 10% annually, depending on the DOT's supply staked and the ideal staking rate. More about this below. Now, we're not worry about this in today's video, but it just says basically that annually it goes up around 10%. Doesn't mean it has to, but that's probably the max that it will go up. So what I'm going to do for this formula, or what I did, is I first looked at what the current circulating supply is versus the total supply, figured out what percent of the total supply that number was, which was 94%. So then I added 10% to this total supply and then used a website to say what was 94% of the new number, because we know about once a year it's going to go up 10%-ish for its total supply. So just to keep these projections on the safer side, we want to do our best to come up with what's the kind of worst case scenario for the circulating supply. So what I came up with basically was 1.5 billion, and that's what I'm going to use for today's video. Now, here's where the fun part of the video begins. This is my Google Sheets document, and I'm going to go into a quick spiel that lasts about 2 minutes for those of you that are new to my videos on how this works, basically what you're looking at and what all these numbers represent. Those of you that have been watching my price projection videos, you can use the chapters below to skip ahead. Let's go. What you're looking at right now is my Google Sheets document. I will leave a link in the description of every one of these price projection videos that I put out. Now, I have a full-length video that goes over exactly how I came up with all of this, but just to save those of you the time that probably won't watch that, let me just give you a brief explanation here quickly of how this works. First, what we have here is projected or hypothetical Bitcoin prices ranging between 91,000 and 180,000. And below that in green, we have projected total market caps for all of crypto. That would include Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the altcoins. Up here in a light brown color on the top left, we have projected dominance for each of Bitcoin and Ethereum. For those of you that are new to what that means, all it is in a nutshell is what percentage of the overall crypto market cap, or these total numbers, will Bitcoin and Ethereum actually take up themselves. Then just below the Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance, we have a total 3 projection, which will be the leftover percentage that would be divided amongst the rest of the altcoins not named Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it would be 35% of these each individual projected market caps that would be divided amongst all the rest of the altcoins. And then just below the green projected market caps for crypto based on those Bitcoin prices, we have the most important part of this video, which is these individual projected market caps for each position inside of the top 500, positions 3 through 500. And although not perfect, though nothing ever is when you're trying to project prices, the way that we came up with these is we just looked at the end of the last bull run when crypto peaked, and we looked at each individual position and figured out what the percentage of the overall crypto market cap at that time each position took up, which is what these represent here in orange. So then, of course, from there, we just applied that percentage to these overall crypto market cap projections, which then gave us projected market caps for each of these individual position ranks. Whew, all right, big breath. And then last but not least, if we go over here to formulas, all we have to do is take one of those projected market caps, divide it by the circulating supply of the coin, or the projected circulating supply of the coin at the time you plan to sell, and that'll give you a price projection for that coin. That would, of course, give you a projected price based on ranking. Just below that, you could actually give a projected ranking based on price. You could have a price target for your coin, times that by the circulating supply, which would of course give you a market cap, which you could then compare over here on the chart and figure out what ranking would likely need to be possible for your coin to reach that price. Now, what I like to do in these videos is do the math on the formula on the first one. That way you can see how I'm doing this, and then from there, I'll just present the data for the rest of the possible projections. So if it were to stay put at number 16, we can look down here, scroll across from that to see the first market cap projection. Now that is based on 91K Bitcoin, and that's 21.7 billion. So we're going to put in 21.7 billion, and then we're going to divide that by my 1.5 billion, and that's going to give us our first projected price of $14.46. Next up, we're going to go ahead and present those findings for you. The important thing to understand as I go through these is there's going to be 5 different projections for different Bitcoin prices, and I'm just going to read off the average price, which is based on 117K Bitcoin for that current position that we're talking about. You're welcome to pause the video if you'd like as I go through each set of 5 and go ahead and just kind of see what those prices are, maybe write them down if you're curious. So to begin with, we've got rank number 16, which would be if Polkadot stays put right where it's at. We have these different market cap projections. Again, here's those different Bitcoin prices. The average price we came up with for number 16 is $18.68. That's based on 117K Bitcoin. Scrolling down to position 10 through 12, which is another projection I came up with. If Polkadot ends somewhere between 10, 11, or 12, then we have an average price of $28.11. That's based on, again, 117K Bitcoin. And then last, position number 8, which is just where it actually ended the last bull run. If it were to reach that again, or end this bull run there again, the average price for that is $49.61. And again, that's based on 117K Bitcoin. And then, of course, for those of you that are ultra bullish on Bitcoin and, of course, Polkadot, we have one last projection based on 180K Bitcoin. And if Polkadot ends at position number 8, like we just talked about, that gives us a market cap projection of 114 billion or just over, and the price would be $76.26. Next up, before I give my own personal prediction for the price of Polkadot for this bull run, we just want to present those other findings here on the chart. Now, before I even zoom in, I'm sure most of you can see, just based on these different horizontal lines that I have here, that I only really have that one projection of 180K Bitcoin, where Polkadot even goes above its previous all-time high. Now, I actually personally think that's going to be the case for a lot of the dinosaur coins, as their supply or circulating supply has just gone up. It's just going to take that much more money, and they don't have the same amount of eyes on them. There's going to be old retail that comes back, and if you're someone that bought the top of this coin, in my opinion at least, you probably need to see Bitcoin at least break 115K, and Polkadot to be somewhere at least position 8, 9, or 10 to see this get some sort of a new high. Now, of course, that is just my personal opinion, but I thought I'd share that with you real quick. Now, if we zoom in here, we can see that my position number 16, $18.68, would be about a 2.5x from where we are now. Position number 10 through 12 here in blue at $28.11 would be just under a 4x. If we go up here to position number 8, the red horizontal line, that's the one that's just under $50. That would be about a 6.5x. And then, of course, that position number 8, 180K Bitcoin, coming in at 76.26 would be the great 10x. And then lastly, of course, what is my personal prediction for the price of Polkadot or DOT for this bull run that we're currently in? Well, if we zoom in here on my green horizontal line, I have listed that my prediction is that Polkadot ends up just outside the top 10 at position number 11. This projection is based on 115K Bitcoin, coming in at $29.73, which from where the price was at the time of making this video would be about a 4x. I want to thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you are enjoying these price projection videos and you want to watch another one, there should be a video popping up on your screen now for another coin. Go ahead and click on that. You can watch that. Or if you want to pick a specific coin, you can go to the pinned comment or the link in the description for my playlist for the top 100 coins. Then you can handpick whichever video you want to watch from here. I do appreciate it. If you're enjoying the content on the way out, please do me a huge favor and like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.